Hello all, and welcome to this evening's beer review, which I am dubbing Summer is Finally Here. So yeah, as you can tell from my dewy complexion, summer is here in full force. I am very sweaty. Just arrived back at my apartment. I was out driving because I had to take my car in and go to a social function. So yeah, quite hot right now. Quite hot. Though my thing says I should have looked at the temperature. I'll probably look at the temperature after this is done. But anyways, this time it's not temperature review or weather review. This is beer review. I got to remember that sometimes. Anyway, so what are we reviewing? Something I am very, very happy to be reviewing today. This is from Hana, and it is called the OB. And this is a California Common, one of my favorite styles, if not my most favorite style. And this is brewed in collaboration with Dave Campbell. And because this is white print on beige, I'm going to go and get this. So this is 4.9 ABV. Sounds fairly familiar to another beer. And let's go and read the verbiage if possible. This is going to be hard even with my light. Hanakoa, if you ever see my videos, can you contrast your text better and maybe print it at a slightly higher font point, please? I love it. I love all the text. It's just really hard to read. Industrious individual. Full circle is always a good feeling. Some of the brewers at Hanakoa are alumni of the OB, Dave Campbell. Without this industrious individual, we would not have the craft beer culture we have in Hawaii today. Without Dave's personal mentorship, we wouldn't have our amazing team at HK. This recipe was originally brewed a block down the road from us at the original homebrew store Dave ran on Oahu. A classic California common, reminiscent of classic foundational craft. Interesting. I wonder which one. Brewers pass the torch each generation, but only a small few earn the right to be given the title OB. We are masters of learning and continue to pass on our knowledge for the next generation. Okay, so yeah, the shop that they're talking about is called Homebrew in Paradise. It closed, I believe, last year, and I'm not sure if it closed permanently or temporarily, but it's been around for a while, and Dave Campbell's, if he's not retirement age, he's pretty close to it. So, right now there is no brewer supply store pretty much in the entire state. That was the only one, but on Oahu, really. And so, anyone who did home brewing in Hawaii knows who this guy is. And let's just say he is quite the character. He is well loved by many. Others, yeah. So yeah, from what I gather, I've never actually, interacted with him at any great length, but he is a font of brewing knowledge. But he also doesn't suffer fools quietly or patiently. But honestly, I'm kind of the same way. It's just for those of us who are in sort of the beer scene of Hawaii. Like I said, he's quite the character. And but enough about that. Let's go to the beer. Now, California Common, noted reminiscent of craft beer foundational styles at 4.9 ABV. I wonder if this is a clone of some sort. Well, We're going to find out. Well, actually, I've already found out, but you know, I'm just being a little coy right now, playing a little game. So yeah, let's just go and pour this out already, because I ain't getting any younger. Okay, so a nicely carbonated copper amber color with an off-white to beige head. Let's go and take it to the light here. You can see it's quite nice in the light. Just a lovely copper amber, or amber copper. And toasty malts. Resiny and floral hopping. Perfectly merged together. Absolutely lovely. Smells like a California common. A certain California common, I might say. Okay, onto the palate now. Up front, get those very nice citrusy and resiny New World hops. Then in the front to the mids, it just transitions nicely into a very toasty sort of maltiness, somewhat grainy. With a lingering slight bitter finish. By the way, there's some nice carbonation bite, but not enough that it impedes the taste. Toasty top note. Very much a beer flavored beer. A slight residual sweetness. No, more of like a subtle sweetness in the mids to finish, balanced by the bitterness of the hops on the palate. Okay, just from the looks of it, and from what I've been describing a bit, kind of sounds like a Anchor Steam clone, doesn't it? Particularly a clone of the pre-Kirin variety. So it's slightly more robustly hopped, I would say. There's a lot more of the sort of resiny bitterness, especially up front and in the long finish. But other than that, it is remarkably close to the classic Anchor Steam in taste profile. And aroma profile for that, and coloration, and body. Well, I would say maybe the head's a little bit on the, the head's a little bit on the darker side too. This one's a little bit closer to beige than off-white, but perfectly nice mouthfeel. Yeah, like I said, probably the biggest difference is, like I said, just it has a little bit more hops to it, a little bit more hop bite, especially up front and in the end. But yeah, it is remarkably close. So as you might imagine, I really love this beer. It is 100% to style, of a style I deeply enjoy. So here, does there a date, brew date on the can? No. Um, I am 100% going to go and buy another 4 pack of this. I will continue to buy 4 packs of this until it is no longer for sale. Because, like I said, Hana in previous videos, Hanakoa tends to cycle through beers. They don't go and keep beers on their roster. They basically do, I think, like a couple brews, and then that's it. And some really popular ones might return a few years down the line, but they don't hold any beers on their, they don't have any flagships. But yeah, I only review like a small amount of what they put out. Uh, One, because they put out a lot of IPAs, and as you know, I'm kind of tired of IPAs. And two, um, they're amongst one of the craft beer brewers that actually, so local craft beer brewers, I think them and Maui Brewing take the hard seltzer category very seriously. Watching some interviews on them on local beer channels, there's like a beer show on OC16. I'm not sure if it's around anymore, but one of the founders, who is a woman, um, really, really takes the hard seltzer category very seriously. Not just as like, I want to make money from this, but like, I really want to go and make beverages that are enjoyable. And I haven't reviewed any of those because, I don't really enjoy hard seltzers. More power to people that do, you know what I mean? Especially nowadays when it is no longer eating up shelf space. It's not replacing beer anymore. Honestly, the craft beer market, and even the macro lager market in America is having some having they're on the downswing of the business cycle. You know, so very few categories are growth categories. I think like stovepipes are a growth category, and non-alcoholics are a growth category at this point. But yeah, kind of talking a little bit less about this beer here. Um, I'm hoping. I know I don't get watched by too many people who are into the local beer scene. I kind of like it that way. There's drama there that I don't want to be a part of. Um, but yeah, I mean, I was kind of being cute a little bit, describing it, but it is there's a grain of truth to what I'm kind of explaining there. But yeah, I mean, Dave Campbell has been foundational in the local homebrew and craft beer scene here in Hawaii. Um, so yeah, it's fitting that he's honored with a beer like this. Yeah. So if you're in Hawaii and you run into this, 100% give this a shot, especially if California Commons, aka steam beers, are your style. They are 100% my style. I will go and buy a California Common or an alt beer or a Kolsch as soon as I see them because I love those styles. And yeah, kind of rambled for quite a bit in this video. So that is your beer review, the OB from Hana Brewing Company. And I wish you all a very good evening. Cheers.